So yeah, the parents said to the firstborn child and said, do you want to go back? But he said he wasn't going to go back to the UK to leave and all that. So whatever reasons, they decided to let the second son adopt the identity of their firstborn child. And they asked the secondborn to relocate to the UK. So basically, the secondborn adopted the idea of the older brother, came over here with the British citizenship, the birth certificate, and all that, came here. So they, these parents, whatever, they, because the older brother, for whatever reasons best known to him, it's not unusual, said he wanted to remain in Africa and make a life for himself. So they felt like, oh, since you don't want to travel, let your brother use the so-called British citizenship and all that. So he agreed. The younger brother adopted the identity and everything. And then he came to the UK, did his education, met a wife, usual stuff, settled, married, had a couple of kids, bought a home, living in the system. Now, what ran concurrently, life was looking Gucci for the younger brother. Good as a slang, all right? And the brother back home, life has ups and downs, right? And then business, maybe his personal life, finances took a nosedive. Parents had gotten a bit older. And he then started to get really frustrated about life and all the monetary difficulties and stuff. Looking at his younger brother in the UK, who would come home often, living in the system here. By the way, according to the email, they only have a year and 2 months age gap. All right. So one day, this brother already working here, as I learned, as a civil engineer here in the UK, doing very well for himself, has his wife and children. He's already settled here. He's doing well. One day, the older brother then calls and say, dude, well, you know what, man? I know that years ago when dad asked, I said I wanted to remain here, but I've lost a lot of money, my investments back here. I would also like to go to that UK and go try my hands on whatever opportunity. You can imagine the younger brother's horror, sat there looking at his older brother and listening to where this conversation is going. And then he was then saying, I would like to, have my documents back, my birth certificate. As you know, I'm actually the one who was born in the UK, blah, 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 blah. I thought I would never need it, but I want it back now. And the usual human response, the younger brother must have said, hey, yo, I've built my life around this. I'm well established. Where do you want me to start from? And, the parents overheard, and, it became a huge problem. He kicked off, I want my identity back and all the shebang, right? And it broke out to be a major argument, a major, left a major friction within the family. The younger brother who is here kicked off and said, there's no way I can hand the documents to you. That's going to sabotage my life. And then this guy, as we speak, is threatening to go to the British Embassy in Lagos to go and tell it all. He gives his brother 6 months to make all necessary adjustments and return his documents. And he said, if his brother refuses to play ball, he's going to march to British Embassy in Lagos. He has some identification from when they were a lot younger in school, basically, that would show the age difference and all the disparity, blah, 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 and all that. He took all the evidences, stole them from their parents' home, and is gone into hiding. So this brother right now is in emotional turmoil from what I got from the email, and it's catastrophic. They said some family members tried to speak to the guy to say, don't do this and all that. But the one back home is claiming, I want my documents. Even if I don't want to stay in the UK, I want to be able to travel the world. Why should I deprive myself of what's mine when you're using it? So now, I know some would argue and say, oh, you know, that's not fair. But legally speaking, that's his identity. Some would say he's wicked. But legally speaking, that's his identity. He could argue that it was a parental decision. Yes, it was. He was coerced into agreeing. He was younger, and he wants his identity back. I don't even think the British immigration authorities will just say, Mr. A, give this back. Let's give this to Mr. B. They might even, I don't know what they could do in terms of in accordance with the law or what they're allowed to do. But of course, that's going to, if it comes to that, it would absolutely, it might put this other guy here in the UK, more than likely going to put him behind bars, and it would totally obliterate his life here in the UK. He will become illegal because they will confiscate the British citizenship. So I want you, to be part of this conversation. Please click on the link. What would you do? What do I mean? If you were the brother, somebody said it's a fraud and will be imprisoned. Of course. If you were the older brother back home, because look, man, let's not get emotional. Let's speak logically. It's your identity. And I know, like I said, some of you are going to say, oh, that's unfair. I think it's not unfair. It's his identity. All right? Because he told his parents when he was younger, I don't want to go to England, whatever, right? The parent, because, and again, according to the sister that sent me the email, the dude and his young brother, they look alike. They look almost like twins. One's just a little bit chubbier, so I can see why they'll get away with the physical appearance and photographs and all that. So somebody click on it. I think somebody's hello. Can't hear you, Mr. Afogmojayi. Click on the link. Come and talk to me, please. Please click on the link. What would you do? So for me, before, whilst I'm waiting for people to click on the link, at the center of this problem, this identity issue, are the parents. Remember, the parents are the brain behind this. And I think the whole idea of, I don't know, but this is what I believe. The whole idea of forcing another child to adopt the identity of his sibling was so that he could go to the West and bring home the goodies of the West. Sometimes when some of these parents make this decision, it comes from a place of selfishness. It's not so that, oh, child B could actually better himself. It's so that child B, they see it as, he was born, he doesn't want to go back to England. You go use it to make pounds sterling. Come talk to me, man. Come on, people. He has false identification, has profited from the use of it, His brother has given him a heads up, which he ought to use and pack up and return home. Either way, living a lie does not bode well. The parents wanted to, waste each of let me read this. It's an investment that pays the parents, of course. Please click on the link. Are you people afraid to talk? Don't worry, you don't have to show your faces, man. Come and talk, man. What would you do? Do you think the brother is the older brother is wrong for demanding that he wants his identity back? For me, before we start throwing the sledgehammer at the brother, we should look at the parents. Now the parents are old and gray, they're feeble. They basically gave birth to this problem. How long has been using his brother's identity? For years. Every day matters. He's been using it for years. He's been using it for years, man. Somebody said a small monetary fund should be put on the table. What does that mean? Sammy's treasure, can he go to another country? The brother wants his identity back. The thing, though, is, this is what, like I said, he has the right to ask. But even if he goes and tells on his brother, rightfully so, the British authorities are basically going to, they would want to claw back the entirety of that document. Enoch, turn on your mic. All right, turn on your mic. Let me see, man. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, is it Mutsa?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I think the mistake has already been done. Both parties could lose out. So it depends if they can live with the consequences, really. If it were me, I would just let sleeping dogs lie, because you know how it works in the United Kingdom. Both parties could be held liable anyway for the fraud. So everyone ends up losing.
I think with if the authorities in the United Kingdom were going to decide on anything, right? They will go after the one that lives in the system. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, but
they will go after, because the one who lives outside the confines of this country doesn't really mean anything to them, and they would more than likely clamp down the entirety of the document, so either party don't get to use it again. What do you think?
That is true, because and using false documents anyway, just automatic 10-year ban from the United Kingdom. Even if the 10 years passes, you highly unlikely that they will ever give you leave to remain or leave to enter. So like you said, the one that's got the most to lose is the one that is here, because the law extends to the one that is here, but the one that's outside, well, it's not really.
And what do you think about the decision of the parents that basically they were the ones behind the idea that suggested for that second one to adopt the identity of the first, of the older brother, so he can go to the West and make some pounds sterling?
No, like you said, I mean, I think it's a taboo in the African culture, because I'm from Zimbabwe. And no matter what your parents do for you or what they do to hurt you, it's just accepted as they are your parents. They can never be wrong, and you can never challenge them. And unfortunately, some of these parents are toxic, and some of these parents are self-centered and selfish. So the decisions that they make are not for the good of the children or everyone in the family. They're only for their own use. And it can be shown by how very little our parents leave us an inheritance. Most Black children start from zero, right? So this is mainly to benefit them, especially when they get in their old age, so that they could continue living a lavish lifestyle, whilst these two are the ones that will have to live with the consequences, really.
Absolutely. Thank you anyway. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
M.
Hi, Phrankleen.
Hi.
Yeah. First of all, the parents were very wrong to ask the younger brother to take up the identity. That is very wrong. That's number one. Number two, the older brother was wrong to accept, to say, yes, my younger brother can use my identity. I don't know at what age they were when
I wasn't told
happened.
what age. Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know what age they were at the time. So since the brother accepted, it's like he sold his birthright to his young brother. It's like Jacob and Esau in the Bible.
You would appreciate that the parents influenced the decision, and he must have been bullied, into making that. You know what parents are capable of.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's why I said I don't know at what age that happened, because I mean, you are an adult at the age of 18 and you know what is right, what is right and wrong at that age. You see, and the other thing is maybe they don't know how the UK works. They don't know how the Western world works. So they think, oh, by me getting an identity, that's it, I'm set for life. So that is very wrong. So now the solution here, what I think is, let them be the way they are. The man should not ask for the identity back because it's already done. The brother has established himself here, and it will be very hard for him to come out of the system, and for him to, if he gets the identity back, what happens next? The face is different on the passport.
I will assure you that he wouldn't get the identity back. If he goes to the British Embassy, in fact, they'll be thanking their stars that he's come there to give them that wonderful set of information. I mean, if they're able to connect the dots based on whatever childhood evidences it provides, and they could establish that, oh, really and truly that younger brother adopted, they would tell him thanks. That doesn't mean they're going to take it from his brother and hand it to him. They will freeze out that name from their system. He wouldn't even get to use that name.
Yeah. He wouldn't, he wouldn't be able to use it. So he should just leave the way, things the way they are. And maybe the younger brother, what he can do is maybe he can find means and ways of bringing the brother here on the other identity, like, exchanging identities. Maybe just to say, sorry, this has happened, but, there's nothing we can do about it. Maybe he can help him come to the UK and then set his life here. I don't know.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Herbie. Hello?
Hey, Phrankleen.
Hi, I can hear you.
So, I'd like to strongly agree with you first on what you said, that it was the idea of the parents was probably the idea to give this identity to the younger man to hustle. And I think it's quite a difficult situation. But I would also
let's not forget, I keep saying this, let's not forget that right in the heart of this mess lies the parents. They gave birth to this problem. So what do you think, very quickly?
Yeah, so it's either this guy in the UK right now looks for a way to, should I say, settle his brother, either by bringing him over, like the previous caller said, or maybe settling him right there in Nigeria. But I guess he also wants, because maybe things are quite tough back there in Nigeria. But again, what if his brother in the UK accepts and moves back, and they swap positions, and then his brother from the UK decides to confess what happens in order to ruin his, as a form of vengeance? He becomes vindictive and confesses that,
I guess we'll never find out.
Yeah, so I'm done here.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. Yo, fam.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm
Can
all
you
right.
hear me? Good, good. Yeah, it's a crazy story, but when it's all said and done, you gotta blame the parents. Because if you have a son that was born in the UK, it's your job as a parent to make sure your kids, was able to get the paperwork through their older siblings. You get me? And I'm not sure about that, as far as the financial status and things like that. But as a parent, it's your job to make sure all your kids was able to get the paperwork through the older siblings, to get to the UK and be able to, and things like that. But another thing too is maybe the brothers in the UK, they should return the brother's identity. I'm not sure if he's married to a UK citizen. Possibly can get his stuff to his wife that he's married to. But at the end of the day, you gotta give that man his identity. And when it's all said and done, you gotta blame the parents. And also you gotta blame those, the older brother as well. I mean, it's not you gotta blame, but it's just a crazy situation, man, because it's one thing going to, traveling to Africa, but living there is one thing, but at the same time, you want to come back where you was born to start a new life. But I'll put the blame on the parents because, how things are in Africa. So you got to make sure all your kids succeed in the future to have that option to be able to go and come to the state, to Africa. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you got to blame the parents.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
All right, no doubt. Thanks for
Kaiser.
Hey, what's good, Phrankleen? How you doing?
I'm all right, bro.
Yeah,
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm actually excited. I'm finally free now, so I'm happy.
Nice. I saw your email, man. I'll come back to you.
Okay, yeah. Thanks. So, with this issue here, I think the previous brother said, blame the parents. I don't think we should blame the parents because we know how African parents are, right? All they care about is having many kids so that they can go off and bring back the money back to them in the future. We all know this. And then they use emotional manipulation to make you feel bad when you notice their abuse, and then you try to move away from them. This is common. They use religious abuse, saying God wouldn't let you do this. What are you doing? We all know the way that they do things. And we know about black tax as well. So what they want, obviously, is the younger son go there, work, because they know that he had a bit more of that kind of working mentality. He was more able to hustle. So they just obviously pushed him forward. And then obviously he's playing black tax, which is basically when the child succeeds, they now so-called give back to the community. But the point here is, you are right. If he goes to the immigration consulate, he'll just lose his immigration status. The other brother, no way they're going to give him because he's been complicit.
No way. Absolutely no way.
Right. Now, maybe in some weird state, if he was like living in Kenya, he didn't know about what was happening. He could claim something, but clearly he knew about it this whole time. So that's fraud. That's participating in fraud. There's no way they'll let him back, just on simple grounds. However, what the younger brother can do, I believe, is it the younger brother who's in the UK?
Yeah.
Right. What he can do, actually, he should come clean, right? He should come clean. Now, here's the thing. They can't deport him because they don't know what his identity is. So, although he's going to lose his status, he's now going to be obviously going down that whole detention for many years. That's his own risk. But the point is, they can't deport him either now, because to deport someone, first they got to know what your identity is, which country you come from, and they have to be able to verify it. So simple fact is they can't verify his identity if he doesn't want. So they won't deport him, but he will definitely lose his citizenship. So it depends. If he wants freedom, if I was him, I'll just leave this whole situation, give up the citizenship, because what's going to happen is they're just going to manipulate him. I will sort myself out, get all the money possible in that year time, then just give it up. Because no matter what happens is...
So if you were the younger brother in the UK, you will be prepared to pack all your things, get monies and bail out?
Yeah, exactly. I'll take the 1 year to get sorted. I'll bail out, I'll come up, tell the government, and then leave. Because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Because we know how this is going to end. A few years later, the
So
brother's going to.
what if your wife then turns around? Oh, I don't want to go to the motherland. I want to stay in England.
Okay. If I right now there, okay. What I'll do is I'll try to use logic. I'll tell her, okay, let's go back to the motherland willingly before I'm involved in any kind of immigration mess. You are a citizen of the UK, right? You can now apply to go back into another European country, like let's say Norway or Ireland. Now, as a husband, now using my real identity, once we're now married in Africa, you can now bring me back using my own real ID into the other land as your partner. That's a logical way to solve the problem.
My man Kazo. Yes, sir.
So the answer is save money for a year, convince your wife of this plan and make sure that you can stick to it. You come back, you get your real documents set, she goes back into a different European country, and then you reapply with your real documents as the husband, and you don't have to be held responsible anymore, because this brother, this mother, this father, they're going to come back every year claiming that they need money for this, and you're going to be held captive to that whole demand forever. You don't want to live like that.
That's quite clever, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'll be in touch soon, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be good. Okay, see ya.
All right, cool. Yes, sir. Hello.
Hi, Phrankleen.
Hi, brother. Wait.
Commend you with the good job you're doing, man.
Thank you. So, what do you think about the case on ground?
Seriously, like the guy have just said it all. Like, if it happens to be myself, I think that's the best thing to do. Is just to plan, save as much I could, and move to another European country, talk to the wife, let the wife understand that, say, this is the mess I found myself, and I don't want this to backfire on me, and at the end of the day, we won't.
But that's if you are at that point in your life. Hopefully, you have a healthy relationship with your wife, though.
Next.
Please reconnect, Mr. Olalekan. The connection is bad from your end. Hello, is it Keish?
Yes, Phrankleen. Good night. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. What do you think?
Man, this is a messed up stuff, because this is, creating a lot of damages between brother and family, and it's a whole lot of mess. Parents are gonna do what they gotta do, and you can't. Now that they're in their old age, you can't stress them about the past mistakes that they've done. But they're not without fault, because they created this whole mess. It's like a tripling effect.
Yeah.
The situation with the brother that's back home, like, I think he feels cheated. I can honestly say that I feel how he must have felt, because the opportunity that would have afforded him to be abroad and study and work, and I don't know if anything that's going on back home with him in terms of strong finance or whatever, but I think if he was happy back home, he wouldn't be stressing his brother that I need to gain back this identity. I think if he was successful back home, he would have just settled in the knowing that this is something that has happened and I'm just living with it. But I think he's struggling, and he's trying to find a way out of his situation. That's why he's coming to his brother. So his brother has to see it from his side as well. It's not just I'm here, I'm established myself in the UK, I have my family. Like, he has to understand that in some sort of way his brother was cheated, and if he really loves his brother and is feel that empathy towards him, he should try and do the right thing and say, you know what, let's work on how you and I can put this together properly. Our parents did this, we have to try and correct it our way. So I think coming together as a unity, it's better than doing it divided, because divided is going to create a lot of problems for them UK wise in terms of the Home Office. And you're not trying to encourage people from cheating the system, but a wrong has been done towards this young man. And if they can settle it within their family, like come to some sort of compromise, how can we get this sorted without getting the authority involved and getting it right? That's probably the best way to go about it.
Thank you, Kish.
Yeah, I just feel it for both side of it, and I don't know if this younger brother that's in the UK, if his children have taken on the name of his brother. You know, it's messy, man. I don't know why parents do. Yeah, so we just have to come together. It's better for us to do it together than divided, because divided we break, but if we come together and sort it out properly together, then we can both be successful. You understand?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Thank you.
That's my
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Kish. MQ.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, brother. Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear. So what do you think, man? Very quickly, what do you think?
My own aspect is some of the things that we do back in Africa with our religious inclination, tradition. It's speechless sometimes when we think about it. And to even think about it, that this involves parents. It's a web of problems. People are proffering solutions. There is no solution to it. It doesn't matter if they are the same father or the same mother. There is no solution. They will forever hold that grudge against themselves for eternity.
Yes.
But, yeah, people are saying go here, marry here. No, the damage has already been done,
and it was done by the parents.
The parents will go into their grave with that guilt. And I doubt if the brothers will not go into their own grave too with that guilt. If they are not very careful, they will transfer those aggressions to their children. So sometimes when we want to undertake some of these adventures, we need to sit down and think. We need to sit down and think before we take.
When people are saying, some people believe that this can just be fixed. People don't understand how deep the minds of the humans go.
We are talking about identity theft here. There are several of us who are abroad who have issues of money, just money with family members that took ages to get around. Just money. I have a project at home. Okay, my brother be in charge of the project. Those problems take years and sometimes a decade to get over it. Now we are talking about someone's identity. This is not something you can buy.
And even sometimes those problems that you're saying, bro, sometimes some people may never till they die even solve those pending differences and grievances.
Yes, we just need to be careful when people take some of this. Some of us are living abroad. Sometimes when I sleep, I've been here for over 10 years. When I sleep, I still dream about it. That is it real that I'm abroad? So people should not demystify what the manners that can come from heaven and then sell their birthright just because they want to go abroad. If that brother was destined to go abroad, he would have gone abroad on his own merit without using his brother's identity. But sometimes we want to think we are smarter than God, or we are smarter than ourselves, and then we'll push the deed forward, and then we'll now be looking for way out. There is no way out. I'm telling you, there is
the parents basically are fully responsible for this, and this calamity may never get solved. But thank you anyway, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. Freddie.
Hi. Hello, Phrankleen.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, brilliant, Phrankleen. Phrankleen, this is messed up. But I hear everybody, I'm hearing people heaping so much of the blame on the parent. I don't want to toe that line. Because I believe that every parent, no matter what, they always sought to do what they think or feel is right for their children.
Why do you think the parents shouldn't be blamed for that action, for allowing another child to adopt the identity of the other?
Yeah, like on that, the other one, obviously they must have come of age because he was coming back to be on his own. So there were no more children. That is the fact. Because they weren't coming with any parent, isn't it? So they're coming to be on their own. So that means they were adults when that decision was made. Okay? And then the parent, from that, that one said he does not want to live in the UK. Fine. Then the parents was like, obviously, every parent in Nigeria, let's face the fact, would want their children to go abroad. Most parents, okay, let me not say every. Okay? So now, they now felt that they have the opportunity, but this one said he does not want to go. Okay, fair enough. Let the other one go. To me, he was coming from a good place. That is the way I look at it. Okay, no matter what we might think.
I get that, but we can't justify identity theft though as coming from a good place.
I'm coming to that part. Yes, I'm coming to that part. Okay, there's
something bleeping from your head. What's that?
Sorry, there. I'm still at work, but that's what it is.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So how do I put it? I know that identity theft is a crime. It's a very serious one. My problem now is why did the brother all of a sudden change from what he agreed on? That is where I'm having an issue with
I said, like the story outlined for me, life became challenging. I think he lost huge amount of money in the business and all that. And then he decided he wanted to go abroad. And then one day he woke up, he remembers, maybe looking at his brother doing well, triggered his thought process.
Exactly. That is it. So that is
I have my identity back. We can't blame him.
So that is, envy crept in, isn't it? He became envious.
I won't call him envious. He has the right to ask for his identity.
I know, I get that. So anyway, the thing is, if I'm that brother, he like you said, he got a good job, he did well with that and everything. Obviously, he is not gonna come back here with that identity again. He should know that. They should explain that to him. But if I'm that brother and if he continues, I will come back and give him his papers. He has already, I've got the degrees and stuff on that name on my own, isn't it? I did the whole thing. I could still use that and look for a job in Nigeria or whatever. And then I don't mind, but I give it. But that is gonna be useless for him anyway. The deed has been done, so there's no point now trying. Okay, because he's feeling like the chicken. If I can't eat it, I scatter it. That's not fair then on anybody.
Thank you. I appreciate your view, bro. Thank you. House of Coffee.
Hi, Franklin.
What's up?
Hi, how are good.
So what do you
so let me I feel like I don't know. This is very complex. It's very complex in the sense that this guy, the younger brother who is back in UK, it's possible that he didn't even share with his wife that these papers are not his. So they might not have had that conversation. So when people say, oh, his wife should do this one, travel out and get this one, go through here, his wife might not actually that his papers were not actually his. And children are involved in this as well. Children who might have got their own British passports, through this. So I think it's just a thing of communicating with each other and not being selfish. The person over there abroad or in Nigeria wants to come here, and he has all the rights. I mean, it's his own
Let me
identity.
ask you one quick question. House of Coffee, let me ask you. Do you agree that the brother back home has the right to ask for his documents? Yes or no?
Oh, yes, 100%. Absolutely. That's his right. He was born here. He owns the paper. So there is no sentiment about it. He has all the right to ask for it. However, because of the complexity around it, the best thing is not to go to any British whatever, because at the end of the day, they are both going to lose out. That's what I feel. They are both going to lose out. The one here, he will be sent home. The one there, he will not be able to come here. So the best thing is to come to a bit of understanding between each other to say that, okay, going forward, what should we then do? However, I think that the guy here as well is very selfish, because
to be fair, according to the story, the brother, he didn't just wake up to say, oh, I'm going to go to the authorities, right? He engaged his brother. He told him, this is, I want to come to the UK. I'd like, of course.
Yeah.
And it's human nature. The brother tried to put up resistance. Look, man, let's try to be fair. I know you're a reasonable person, but imagine you were in, I'm talking hypothetically, you're in that situation. I think your immediate reaction is your guards are going to go up, especially if you built a life around it. Like what?
No. I beg to differ, Phrankleen. No, I beg to differ, Phrankleen, in the sense that all my life, I've had it at the back of my head that these papers are not mine. I think that should be it, that this paper is for my brother. So it's not a thing of, oh, it's mine, because I know that even there are lots of people that come into this country and use other people's paper to work. We all know that, isn't it? So how do you go around that? At the back of your mind that these papers are not mine. I'm going to give it back to the owner. And so you do whatever you can at the space of that time that you have that paper in your possession, knowing that at any point in time, they might take you back home. So that's how it should be if that guy was actually not selfish. But knowing that, this is my brother's paper. Anytime, any day, can wake up and say, I want it back. So I would have built a life for myself back wherever I want to build it, knowing that I will go home anytime. But saying that, no, he doesn't have a right. He has a right. That's his papers. For goodness sake, he has a right to ask for it. So he needs to come to an understanding with his elder brother to say, okay, this is what we are going to do. Simple.
Thank you, House of Coffee. Sammy.
Hi, Phrankleen.
Hello. Hi. Speak up a little bit. You sound really low.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. A bit better.
Hello?
Yeah. So what do you think? Hello. Go on.
Okay. It's a complicated issue, but like you said, like the brother, the younger brother, who knows? Maybe he has like a, very maybe good job over there. His life is built around this identity. He has a wife, he has a kid, he has kids, all those things in the picture. I can understand the resistance, but they should have thought of this, because Africans love to jump into things without even knowing exactly what they're getting into. So long as they're going to be in the diaspora. And I believe the parents, they were not thinking about all these issues might come up. And we kind of expect too much from each other. We kind of think that we are able to sacrifice our lives for one another, all in the name of what? We're brothers or we're sisters. And I hope a lot of Africans will learn from this. Like, you can come from the same womb, but it doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your entire life for another. And to be honest, that
Sammy, I can't hear you. Disconnect and rejoin, please, so I can bring you back on. It sounds really low. I can't hear you. Hi, Florence.
Hi, Phrankleen. This is my first time calling in. I'm so excited. Hello? Hang on. Am I mute? Can you hear me? Sorry.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can very well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, it's lagging, but I can hear you. Go on, talk.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, please.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's a really messy situation, and it boils down to what you've been telling us about, your podcast about the African deceit, like our parents, what they've done to us, that manipulation, emotional blackmail and everything. You cannot, for anything in this world, allow one of your child, to give up their identity, no matter what. This guy is an adult, right? He's gonna have children at some point. It's not just about money. This is his identity. It's like taking up somebody's identity. What do you want this guy to do? It's not about money. He's gonna have children, right? And his children might want to travel abroad. And the younger brother, I don't just blame the parent. I blame the younger brother. He's selfish, and that's an African thing. We are so selfish to an extent. It's like a cultural. I think it's a dilemma. I don't even know what to say because I'm really like.
I hate to call it cultural because when you use the word cultural, it's like we are owning it.
No, okay, we are not all in it, but we accept it. Okay, look at now what has happened. People are expecting this guy in Nigeria to forgive this guy. What are you talking about forgiveness? Do you even know the meaning of forgiveness? For this younger brother, let's all be honest, right? All of us are abroad. You can take somebody's paper and travel. How come this guy did not think about, now that I'm in the UK, let me sort myself out and send my brother's paper back to him? It was very possible to do that. Why did you decide to sit on your brother's future? It's like sitting on somebody's future, expecting to be okay with that decision. And come on, no, I don't blame this guy. I really do not blame him.
You see, like I always say, if you ask for my personal take, if we unpack all of this, yes, the younger brother is not going to walk free from all of this, but the main culprits are the parents. It's only a selfish parent that will comfortably sit down and say, you adopt. I swear, I'm sure if that firstborn was born in Mozambique, no disrespect to our African continent, but if he was born in Zimbabwe,
it would have been
the parents wouldn't say, come and carry passport and go to Zimbabwe.
Exactly.
But because it's the UK, they were saying, he doesn't want to go. Because a good parent, hey, you were born in the UK, you want to go to the UK? Mom and dad, no, I want to remain here. Great. And it would have just been a case of him keeping his documents. If he decides just to go on holiday tomorrow, he can use his document whenever. But because of their greed, they felt like him not wanting to go live permanently abroad amounted to the fact that the document was wasting. That interpretation of wastage is you should be in the West toiling, bringing home hard currency that we can eat with both corners of our mouth. Because if you look at it carefully, you were born abroad. You have. I know a few persons who live in Africa. They have American citizenship. If they want to go to America tomorrow morning, they will take their passport and they'll go, and then they'll go back to Nigeria or Ghana or something. So, but imagine your parents now bully you into. They strip you of that identity and say, okay, give it to your brother. If you know you're not using it, let him go. He wants to go, and you. Why don't you apply for that brother, maybe on a student visa or professional grounds or whatever? Let him go legitimate. But then it's only fair if I realize that, oh, hang on, that's my identity. You know what, man? I want it back. And then, like one of the callers said earlier, oh, it's jealousy. No, it's not. Again, I'm sorry, no disrespect, but that's one of the wrong mentalities that we have. Why would you say jealousy?
How can it be jealousy when this is this guy's identity? How can it be jealousy? First of all, they've taken his freedom away. Do you know what it means by, okay, is he married at this point? He's going to get married, right? He has to think about his own family. What are they thinking about that? So he has to sacrifice himself for the rest of the family. That is what we do in Africa. And it's bad. It's a toxic mentality, and we need to stop it.
This is why forgive me. You see, this is why I always say these are the same type of people with this warped mentality that you see on social media. Because somebody is a musician, because somebody has won a Grammy, it's okay for them to punch somebody in the face in the club, cut their ears, make them bleed. Because somebody is a popular musician means they can brutalize a guy working in a restaurant. And as soon as you try to talk, they would say, oh, you are jealous of their fame. This is what I talk about. What mentality? Some people, I've been looking at some comments. Oh, the brother in Nigeria is jealous of his brothers. Look at us Africans, because in fact, I see that abroad as some kind of Olympic medal. Why?
Wait,
I didn't ask for my identity. I was bullied by my parents.
Yeah.
I don't care about your feelings. Okay, you know what, man? I'll give you enough time. Maybe I'll give you 12 months to sort yourself out. Give me back my documents. And then you say, no, never. I can't give it back to you. So I can threaten you and say, if you don't give it back, I'm going to go to the authorities and blow everything up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think UK is very selfish, and I think he's got that typical African mentality. Let's ask ourselves this question: if you know, it was a reverse role, would he have done that for his brother? You know, would he be so comfortable living, like giving everything up for his own brother? He wouldn't have done that. That is what is because what he tried to see from his brother's standpoint, it shows the kind of person he is in the first place. Okay, the parents made the mistake, which is like the worst mistake any parent can do for another child. Because what are they saying? We love this other child more than you. And that is what we do in most African houses. The one that brings the bread is most favored, gets everything, all the accolades, and gets all the praises. You can't do that. You just can't. We need to change. Africans, I'm sorry, I know it might not be everybody. I'm so furious in this situation. You would not. You have
the right to your opinion, and I agree about it.
We've been used over and over, and some people would say, "Oh, the bro. How can you say somebody's jealous? This is his life. Let's forget about the people."
Let me also say this. Somebody made a very important point, actually, and it's true. Somebody talks about, and it's true. If you look at the advancement of the Western IDs, particularly the passports, with biometric passports, it would actually be whereby they take your fingerprints and all that. It would be very hard to just manually transfer the documents back to the older brother, because now fingerprints and everything about this younger brother is in the database of the UK immigration. So the manual transfer is impossible. That would exacerbate the anger and furthermore damage. Thank you for mentioning the biometric.
Yeah, you can't transfer it, and if it is noticed now, both brothers will not be allowed in this country anymore. Trust me. And the one in the UK now has got children. What's going to happen to his children? And I'm sure they are under that particular paper as well, isn't it?
Well, I'm guessing, I'm not an immigration expert. I'm just saying, if their mom was already maybe like a citizen before she married him, then the children might be able to piggyback on their mom. They're not going to strip the innocent children of anything. But if it was maybe derived from him or something, then there might be further complexity.
Yeah, because if she got her papers from this guy as well, so it's like a whole web of a mess.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much, Florence. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Right, that's me done. What do you think, man? Keep the conversation going on below. Thank you to everybody that's called in. It's just a brief live stream. For me, unfortunately, it's a complexity that was created out of parental greed. Okay? It's just greed and self-centeredness. If I have a child, I would never ask my other child to adopt the other child's identity. That's just wrong, man. So they gave birth to this palaver, all right? And the guy has the right to ask for his ID, but particularly with the mention of biometrics, I didn't even think in that direction, man. It'll be absolutely, impossible to be able to manually transfer, even if the younger brother is now willing to say, take the document. his own fingerprint and all that stuff, if he gives the current document before expiration to his brother, in the near future, he might be faced with complexity if he has to do fingerprint checks again, and they would ask him that he's stolen documents, and then he will end up losing. So the web of complexity is already there, man. Anyway, that's me done. Thank you for watching. It's your boy Phrankleen. Don't forget to hit the like button. Before I go, if you want to support the channel, there are details in the description below. Cash App, PayPal. You can join my Patreon for as little as £3 a month. If you don't feel like, that's absolutely fine. I still love and respect you. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Let's keep the conversation going on below. If you have a story to send to me, foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Look in the description below. If it's a trending topic that you would like me to react to, please send them to me. All right, the merrier, the juicier, the better, the more content. It's your boy Phrankleen. I'll catch you in the very next one.